Sam Logue here for irishboxing.com. Delighted to be joined by Billy Nelson, trainer of Lewis Crocker, and of course Martin Bakole, big Martin Bakole. Welcome to Belfast, welcome to Ireland. You must be very excited to have Lewis. Lewis is somebody who in the Irish boxing scene has been kind of praised and touted for a long time. The likes of Carl Frampton has been singing his praises for years. He went a little off the boil maybe, he was kind of here, there and everywhere for a while, but he's back, he's settled, he's over in Glasgow with you. How excited are you to be working with Lewis and to be here to fight at the Feile on Friday night?
Well, I'm really looking forward to fighting in Belfast. I always do like fighting here because I know that the Irish are very knowledgeable in boxing. With regards to Lewis, he's been with me since I think middle of March. Still gelling, but we're gelling really well. He's very settled, he's happy, he's very happy. He says he's never been happier in boxing, and hopefully that is reflecting in his boxing for what I see in the gym.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you expect? Do you know much about the opponent on Friday night, and what do you kind of expect to see from Lewis, and what do you expect to for the opponent to bring on the night? The
opponent's better than what his record suggests. Quite an awkward guy, but I think as I've said to people, even if you took away Lewis's undoubted power, he'd still do very well at boxing with the skill set that he's got. He's very, very underrated skill set, but he is punching extremely hard just now, and we've worked on a few things that I believe that his power's even more so now.
Yeah, you've kind of been able to bring his power out a bit easier.
Tweaked a few things, and he sees. I mean, he's done a lot of damage in the gym.
Interesting. We'll let you say as much or little on that as you want. Yeah, I mean, it is really exciting to have Lewis back. What road of progression do you want to see him take now? Because obviously, in a lot of ways, he's probably ready to be let off the leash, but because he's had a few hiatuses, he's a few fights fall through, things have been a bit turbulent for him. He kind of probably needs that one back and then maybe to be let off the leash. What way do you want to see him progress now, and how quickly can he be ready for the big dog, so to speak, in the division?
We'll be ready after this fight. There's something big happening.
Yeah.
And you'll hear about it in due course.
No exclusive now?
Sorry?
No exclusives now?
No, it would be unfair. But there's something big coming from and it'll be in Belfast as well. So it'll be great for his fans, his family. I'm looking forward to it. But you don't get that unless we win on Friday night.
That's it. Well, that's it. It's the task at hand, isn't it?
We don't like talking too much. It's not something that I do very often. But one fight at a time. This will be his big fight on Friday. If he doesn't win this one, that big fight won't be happening.
Yeah, I get you. How does Lewis compare to the kind of his peers around him, if you like, on the kind of British and Irish scene? Obviously, from an Irish perspective, we have the likes of Paddy Donovan coming up through welterweight, Stephen McKenna, the likes of these guys who are kind of in and around that weight class. Pierce O'Leary at light welterweight. There's a lot of guys. Sean McComb at light welterweight. There's a lot of guys kind of in and around the weight class. How does Lewis compare to the British and Irish talent that you see, obviously being a man in the UK at the moment as well?
I've seen Paddy Donovan. I've seen him in the Tyson Fury camp down in Morecambe. Very good, slick boxer. I think Lewis has got Paddy's skills, but Paddy's not got Lewis's ferocious punch power. That's just one example, but a very, very good fighter in his own right is Paddy. Very good fighter. With regards to over the water in England and Scotland, I don't see anybody beating him. I think, and I said this the other day, he'll knock out Conor Benn given the opportunity.
Really?
Oh, undoubtedly. He's too skillful for him, and he punches harder than him, and more importantly, he's got a better chin than him.
Wow.
So I think in the three main attributes that you need for boxing, I think he beats him in all of them.
Wow.
And that's nothing against Conor Benn. He's a fine fighter, he's improved, but he'll get found out if he fights him.
Wow, that's an interesting one. That's a great one to hear. Obviously, we want to see Lewis step up. Do you think that the likes of matchups like that are in any way realistic? Like, I suppose Lewis would have to move quite quickly and really gain a bit of traction.
Not necessarily, because who has Conor Benn fought? Real live opponent.
He has quite a lot of star power at the moment, doesn't he?
But that doesn't make you a good fighter.
It doesn't make you a good fighter, but maybe it makes the fight slightly less attainable because of the the profile that he has at the moment?
Well, he's I believe Lewis is 16-0. 16-0, X amount of knockouts. Benn's undefeated. You know, he's not that fat. He's not. He's further ahead than Lewis in the rankings purely because he's with Matchroom. You know, that's the only reason. Not because of ability. Believe me when I tell you that.
Yeah, it's a big advantage having a big name promoter.
Of course it is. Of course,
access to titles.
If his name was Conor Nelson, he wouldn't be where he is now.
Yeah,
and that's the truth. I mean, like it or lump it, that is the fact.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, is that a fight that you would love to take? Do you think that Lewis is in a position now, because he's probably flying slightly under the radar, especially in Britain, that he could be taken in as maybe an opponent for someone like a Conor Benn or someone like that, and that would be an opportunity that you guys would snap up?
Eddie's he might be daft, but he's not stupid. You know, he's not going to risk him at any. You know, he's not going to risk him against Lewis Crocker. No chance.
Yeah. It's we can dream.
As sorry.
How are you getting on with Martin Bakole at the moment? We know that he's coming off the back of a couple of big wins. He won against Tony Yoka, and was that the last fight?
No, last May. He beat Tony Yoka in Paris.
It's incredible win.
5-3-1.
That's the big man there himself.
He beat Tony Yoka with ease. And to be perfectly honest, before that fight he had a slight niggle, and we just went over there and dominated him. But all these top heavyweights in Britain, he sparred them all, and they all know what he's done to them. That's how they know fight him. The problems I'm having trying to get my opponent, somebody that's fought somebody in the UK, or two people in the UK, has been offered a king's ransom to fight him, and they've said no. It's ridiculous. It's absolute. It's borderlines. You think the boxing gods are telling people not to fight them?
It's mad, isn't it?
It's embarrassing. It's called themselves professional fighters, prize fighters. They'll tell you we'll fight anybody. No, they won't. I could give you a top 10. I could give you a top 10 of fighters, a great top 10 that have all said no to him.
Wow. What do you put it down to at its core? The thing that maybe comes to mind is it's probably one of those risk-reward situations where he's a massive risk and perhaps there isn't as much reward as people would like. Is that something that you go along with, or
well,
not?
See now where the belts are all tied up. Every fight's a risk. So take the risk. He's prepared to take the risk. You know what I mean? I get told there just this morning that Michael Hunter, who's supposed to want to fight him continually, I know he's knocked back the fight, and we did knock back the fight. I'm not going to tell you a lie. We got about 4 or 5 weeks notice to fight him back in December for in the January bill when in England, and I said no, 5 weeks isn't enough, and it wasn't enough. So we knocked back the fight, but he's again knocked back the fight. So
yeah, it seems to be a difficult situation you're in there.
Saying one thing and doing another, but that's boxing all over the back.
Yeah. It's a tricky business, isn't it? And I suppose nobody knows more about it than yourself. I certainly don't anyway. But yeah, it's a tricky one, and hopefully you can clear things up and get Martin into another big fight.
Well, he'll be fighting soon, and there's something else on the horizon that may be happening.
Brilliant. Good to hear. I won't press you for too many exclusives.
I can't really sense that one.
And I hope that with the same doesn't happen with Lewis, obviously, as well, because he is that kind of danger man, and we hope that he's able to get out there and get onto it.
Well, the good thing is he's got the man over in the end of the room here, Jamie Conlon, who's doing a fantastic job with Lewis. He said to me, so I'll get him 3 fights and then we'll move him, and this is exactly what he's doing. In fact, I've actually suggested to Lewis having another wee 6-8 rounder in September, possibly. Whether it materialises, I don't know. If it can be, if it can happen before this big fight, just to keep him active. You know, because he was out there for about 17 months, fights falling through, picking up that injury that he had, but he's absolutely flying now, and I don't want to be a lie. I mean, he's only going to. I've given him a week off after this fight to stay in Belfast with his family, and he's straight back to Scotland.
Focused and
well, to keep working and improving his skill set, working on things that I think need touched on, and he's 100% going to do it. So while he's there, why not have another wee 8-rounder, even in Glasgow? You know what I mean? I'll sell his tickets for him. I'd sell. You know, we're not looking for. We wouldn't be looking for a big purse. We'd sell the tickets for the opponent and him, just to get another wee 8-rounder under the belt before the big one.
Yeah, exactly. Just get out, get momentum, get consistent, get another fight with you and himself.
Keep the tools sharp.
Absolutely. Look, it's great to speak to you, Billy. I really appreciate your time. It's great to see you working with Lewis, and wish you nothing but success in the future. Looking forward to Friday night and seeing what little tweaks and changes you've made with Lewis, and hopefully it's a big performance. And listen, thanks very much for talking to us, and we hope to speak to you again really soon.
Thank you very much.
Gentlemen, thanks very much.